Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Charitable and Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And very glad that the guys that you guys get to see all the time here to represent the food bank, we got somebody else coming in, a special guest with us, Mr. Michael DeLon, Executive Director of Hands for Hope Foundation. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us today.
All right, you got it. Next to him, Mr. Spud McDonald. Hey, Spud, how are you, buddy?
Hey.
I was thinking a man of few words, not going to happen.
No.
Sitting next to him, Mr. Lawrence DeHart, of course, the Executive Director.
He is a man of few words.
Yeah, I know that's
Only about
right.
6, but he says them over and over and over again.
Right. Until you listen, Spud. He will keep saying it until you listen.
Persistent.
And we're going to get back to you guys, as always, all the good work that you guys do with the food bank. So very appreciated. Of course, Charitable Churches United Food Bank. But Michael, tell us a little bit about your foundation, what you do, and a little bit of the history about how you guys are helping so many.
Well, the Hands for Hope Foundation was created just in the last month or so to help address some of the human service needs in our region. Particularly in partnership with the food bank and the vegetable garden, we're trying to address the food insecurity issues in Lafourche and Terrebonne parishes and even beyond.
Right.
And the need for those services has grown tremendously in the last few years, as you can imagine.
Right.
It started off with the pandemic, and then, of course, Hurricane Ida was so devastating to our communities.
Right.
And then more recently, the inflation, the cost of groceries has gone through the roof. And it is especially hurting our elderly population.
Right.
Because, people on fixed incomes, once the pantry's empty, it's empty.
Right.
So a group of leaders, respected community leaders, got together and determined that it's time to up our game when it comes to fundraising.
Wow.
And so we, in order for the food bank and gardens to do more, requires more funds.
Sure.
People think that the food at the food bank is donated, and a lot of it is, but a lot of it isn't. We have purchases in the tens of thousands of dollars every month.
Right.
To keep groceries on our shelves, so that we can help those that are in need. So.
Right.
The foundation has been created as a way to partner philanthropists, people are just everyday Joes that have some money and believe in our cause.
Right.
And so we're actively soliciting donors, corporations, foundations, individuals,
whomever,
whose heart's in the right place.
Right.
And who want to help people make the world a better place.
Well, and that partnership, I know you talk about that. Lawrence and Spud and I have spent some time talking about how things have changed. I was really glad that Lawrence brought in some of the things that have changed since Food Bank opened 35 years ago. Let's talk about this inaugural time, Lawrence, and where we are with celebrating 35 years.
No, I may look it, but I haven't been there for 35
No.
years.
No.
The last 5 seem like 35.
Right.
I've been there a year and a half, and you should see, I had a black beard before I started this.
That's right.
I look like a pirate now, man. I look like,
It's
something different.
One of the things that I
Yes.
talked about was that recently businesses that were started 35 years ago, the number, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, less than 10% of those, anything that was incorporated or in operation 35 years ago, are still operating now. And as far as nonprofits, and as far less than 5% are still operating now. So the fact that your local food bank, the people who've been here have been dedicated and have been fighting, and it's been a lot more than just me and the people that you see up here. There have been people that have been there without fanfare for 35 years to take care of the people of this parish and the surrounding area. So we're celebrating 35 years. It's amazing. We've been here. We get no regular government funding other than grants, and we're here for the people of this parish and this region, and a lot of people have dedicated their lives to making it happen, and we will continue to do so, and the goal is to be here for at least another 35.
Yeah.
and we'll still be on TV.
Well, the
and,
thing,
and still be here with them, right,
Yeah.
Spud?
well, the thing of it is, yes, it's like, it's actually closer to, he said less than 10, it's like at 6%.
Wow.
6% is still open. And that's businesses.
Right.
I mean, so this is a
5%
big,
of those are
yeah,
nonprofits.
this is a big deal that's open. And as for the foundation, I mean, the thing about foundations is, I mean, look, I go out, my job is to go find money. And yes, I go out and schmooze people. I buy chapstick every week to help me schmooze people for money. But the bottom line is, we can only ask for money and food. A foundation can actually, somebody can will things to us. Somebody can leave us a house. Somebody can give us a car that we can raffle off. So a foundation gives us
a
the
donkey.
opportunity to expand our fundraising that much further, you know. So, and that's why we brought Michael on board here. So that's the gig, you know.
Well,
If you have a 401k that you have minimum distribution requirement amount,
If you still have a 401k, you want to see what mine looks like right now. But
and
yeah.
all the people said amen.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Lawrence.
no, you know, if you don't want to take that distribution at 70.5, call Michael. He's the special man. He'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
Very good. Yeah, and just being able to do that. And I guess one of those things is looking for more unique ways to partner, to find a way to get more for those who have less, has really been the mission. And now, and y'all are very creative about that, and I appreciate that. We've got some big news, and we've teased this a little bit last couple of times, but some things even took place today, right?
One of the things that just came through today is I just left a meeting with Tim Saunier after Mardi Gras. One of the things that he is keenly aware is helping the people and using the resources that he has available.
Right.
And we've already worked 2 programs with Tim. And so we came to an agreement just actually minutes ago where we're going to start using his facility out there to distribute food once a month.
Wow.
He's going to do it in concert with several churches and just make the facility available so we can reach those in the community. And he feels it's for the sheriff's offices, it's a great community outreach where they can go ahead and reach meet people on a one-to-one basis outside of the uniform. It's a situation where they can bring a need because that part of the parish, we're going from where we were centralized just on one campus distributing food. We are adding food pantries around the parish, and so that is one of our locations. We have 3 more in the works, some of them in Lafourche, and but Tim is stepping up big time to make his facilities available to us and to several churches in the area to help distribute food, to help those in need. If you're struggling for food, spending money on gas to come 30 minutes to get food, wait in line and to get out. So we're trying to make that as painless as possible.
And more accessible. And of course, Tim Saunier, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff, and they have their new facilities that just
In Gray.
in the last few years.
over there on
in Gray.
Highway 24, yeah.
Right. And so again, you make a really good point, because those people who are struggling with food insecurity very often are struggling with resources and supplies. And so coming all the way downtown in Houma to come to the where you are located is just difficult sometimes. And so again, this idea of developing these food pantries, it's why I'm so very excited about all of the work that y'all do, because you're not only doing outreach with Spud on the front end, but y'all are reaching out on the back end. And that is just so very nice to be able to see how do we do that. And it's through partnerships.
Yeah.
And that's partnering with Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office and the people that need it. Go ahead, Lauren, sorry.
We also work with Tim as part of his emergency command center during all emergencies, and that's one of the programs we work with. And Spud is a big part of that. And
I'm a deputy. Can you believe it?
yeah.
Okay, now I'm a little frightened. I don't
Yeah.
normally get scared, but if
No.
you're scared, say you're scared.
Yeah, well, I'm an emergency response team,
Right.
deputy.
Sure.
So when hurricanes and such come, I'm embedded in the sheriff's office. So I'm a liaison between the sheriff, the EOC, the food bank. So I'm out there telling where to bring
Right.
So in other words, that's why we told you about that flatbed with the donkey.
Right.
So I'm the one who dispatches where that's going to go in the most need. The sheriff's office, I'm going to make sure that they all have day bags so they can, when they run across people. So that's what it is. I ain't
Right.
deputy dog or nothing, but
Right.
you know.
Well,
I got my little thing. No,
Not writing speeding ticket.
no, I ain't writing no ticket. Forget that. Ain't no blues on my car. Forget that noise.
well, but the good news is that it's about coordinating in times of need, and Lawrence has been really clear about what he did and maybe should not have done during the storm, trying to get the generator working in winds that were greater than we'd like to discuss. But again, that's the coordination. That's the importance of being able to partner with what we're doing and how we're doing
These things need to be done, and the food bank has always stepped up to do them. And it's
Right.
just the things, it's just expanding all the different duties that need to happen. And it's like, I don't want to say it's getting dumped into our plate, because if we didn't think we could deal with them, we wouldn't take them.
It's just a better organizational plan for those difficult
better planning
times.
and more people
And emergency planning. Go ahead, Michael.
I was going to make the point that you couldn't imagine the number of food banks and other disaster response agencies that folded their tent in South Louisiana
In our region.
after Ida, and we were still out there when the wind was blowing. So
Right, right. And so therein lies the difference. And we talk about dedication, why you've been around, not that you've been there that long, Lawrence, but why the food bank's been around for 35 years. It's the dedication of the employees to make sure that things happen so that others are served.
and not just
lots of volunteers.
lots of
Oh,
volunteers.
yeah. No. When I say that, I mean the group of people. It's everybody that does that. And it's so very important to realize and the importance of that.
And speaking of volunteers and other agencies, I made the point of the foundation has partnerships with the food bank and the vegetable
St.
garden.
Francis Garden.
Right?
We're also open to partnerships with other agencies.
Okay.
If it's a good fit and we can make a positive impact in the community.
How do people reach you, Michael, over at Hands for Hope Foundation? How do they reach you? They can call you.
They can, yes, absolutely.
Right.
985-266-9050.
Better way to do that is by email? Or-
Sure, Michael at tcufoodbank.org.
Mm-hmm.
And we're available to help people. So
Right.
You could tie a note
on it.
on a rock and throw it through his car window.
Or your office windows. I'm just.
But one of the other things that Tim is going to expand upon is, and then we came to an agreement while they were talking about during storms that they were going to carry day bags. Again, starting in a couple of weeks, every sheriff's car will have a supply of day bags that if they see somebody in need on the spot, they can go ahead and hand. We're going to keep a supply there. So they're going to have about 10 in each car. It's going to be an ongoing thing. So, because one of the things that we talk about local, your local food bank, local means in emergencies, we're just minutes from responding instead of days. So that's part of that response.
Yeah.
So, Lawrence, we were talking about how we keep it local. One of the best ways to do that is, as you were mentioning at the end of the last segment, what y'all are doing for these food bags to have with the grab bags that the sheriff's office can do. It kind of reminded me of what they do during the holiday season, where they really make a difference for partnering with the community, identifying the need when there's these kids that they know don't have very much and need a present or something. They kind of pass those out. Y'all are doing this to partner and keep things local all year long when we see that food insecurity, and it empowers our sheriff's officers to be able to take care of that in the field.
Yeah, like I said, it's being minutes away versus, well, we'll get to you in a couple of hours. And so, and it's also making community officials aware of the needs so they can help respond because it's about people to us.
Well, these day bags that we hand out, they're 2,200 calories per, okay? That's what a grown man needs to survive. So for one day.
One day.
So, but we always keep that on hand. We always have food on hand. We always, it ain't easy.
No.
But we
No, we've
always
talked about
have
how
food.
difficult
We
that
keep
is.
food and not to wait for other organizations. We are on top of it to deal with the people, with our clients, with the people of Terrebonne, Lafourche, the whole Bayou region over here.
Right.
And one of the best ways we've found is to partner up with Tim Saunier, because his deputies are out there meeting people face to face. They know who hurts, like the toys.
Right.
And I mean, he's a Marine. You know he's going to do Toys for Tots. But his deputies are out there, and they know who needs it, and they know, who doesn't.
Yeah, they're one of our best resources for needs assessment, which y'all are always doing. Where is the need? And like you said, how do we get it to them in minutes instead of hours? And that's really important. And we're doing that with the vegetable garden. I mean, that's awfully special as well. Let's talk about the value of what we're doing with the 2 vegetable gardens.
We
Three vegetable gardens. Sorry.
Well, we just got the 3rd. We haven't tilled it yet.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
coming.
2 now and 1 to come. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Actually, we do have 3. We have at the main branch of the library,
Right.
we have in Thibodeau, and we have at TARC. TARC has
that's
been
right.
very kind, and we do rows. And just to give you an idea of what that means to us, while there's about 5 other programs that they do, in addition to just providing food for the food bank, they have provided substantial savings. Like, for example, what they're providing, I spend $11,000 a year on potatoes. We don't have to do that anymore. But they're getting ready to have some educational events and some public events. They are having their spring program, and this is going to be the Saturday right before Easter. It's going to be, I guess you should call it Easter Saturday or Holy Saturday. And it's going to be in the Thibodeau Garden, and they're going to have a ladybug release. They're going to have a
Easter egg
kissing
hunt?
booth.
Yes, a kissing
A
booth.
kissing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We have one of our staff members, and his name is Gunner.
He's a black lab.
Black lab, and so it's going to be a kissing booth.
So we're going to put a little ham baby food right there, and he'll come and give you a big kiss.
There's going to be some paper lantern releases, and that's going to be
Wow.
fun.
And again, that's Holy Saturday, the day before Easter
April 8th.
Sunday,
Yes.
April the 8th.
But we also, in celebrating our 35th anniversary, Spud and Michael have been working hard.
Yes, we are going to have. It'll be in the courthouse square on the
Okay.
23rd. Dean Schwest is going to come cook jambalaya for us.
Our friend at the Civic
Our friend
Center.
at the Civic
Oh,
Center.
yeah.
So he's going to come and cook jambalaya, and we're going to have a cake there with you saw the logo. And instead of cake, what we're going to do is get a whole bunch of little mini cupcakes and then
Okay.
spread icing over it and make it look like, so that way you can just come grab one instead of cut.
Gotcha. You don't have to cut a piece of
so
cake.
I mean, it's going to be lunch. It's going to be a jambalaya and some stuff like that. But,
Okay.
But yeah, there'll be proclamations from a lot of the political leaders and a few speeches, and we'll pipe in some music and just.
And the event's free.
It's free, yeah.
Okay.
So just show up, and we'll be out there meandering around and telling people about the food bank and anything they need to know, and any donations they'd care to make.
Donations,
Yeah.
donations. If you've heard anything
But it's-
today,
it's gonna be a nice-
donations
it's gonna be
are
nice.
available and
the-
being taken.
That's the Thursday after Mardi Gras,
Thursday after Mardi Gras.
during the lunch hour.
During
Now,
the lunch
the
hour.
next thing is, and we told you about it here. You get the first look here. I promised you first look.
Right.
And when it's actually, we're out of beta testing, if you put up the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Bacheron
For the app.
has been, this is the first page of our app. Just to show you how easy it's going to be. That's the most complicated page that there is. It's going to allow,
Wow.
no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And it's going to have 4 sections to it. And Jason's organization is doing it at a greatly reduced cost. Thank you, Jason. I just don't
guy.
have the money to pull off $50,000 for this, but so
Yeah.
he's helping us. And but to be quite honest, it's going to do one where you can put in all your information and you can request services and literally drive up and it's going to generate a barcode, and all you got to do is we got to scan the barcode and you can go on and get the food. You can update your own information. It's going to be about as shameless as possible. If you're uncomfortable discussing some of the questions that we ask with it, you put
Which
it
we
in
have
the
to
format.
ask those questions.
Right, those-
Yeah.
yeah.
But we aren't judgmental. It's just
No,
we have
it's
to
just
ask
right.
them,
We've
you
got to
know.
make sure it's a needs assessment. We got to make
Yes.
sure that there's a need,
Yeah.
and that those people don't have the resources that others may have.
There's going to be emergency information for the parish.
Right.
There is going to be all the different emergency services from different organizations, such as Salvation Army and START in the parish, listed. So when you have questions, it'll be an information
You'll know
resource.
where to go.
Wow, it'll kind of just transmit that information out.
Yeah.
It gives us an opportunity to see where more needs are through the app.
Yes.
And so wonderful. So Jason, thank you for doing that. And yes, I'll get in touch with you, Jason, as he's always looking for more resources. But Lawrence, thank you for your many years of service, for your guidance and direction. Spud, thank you for always going out to ask for getting help.
By the way, I'm going to be the Grand Marshal of the Covington Mardi Gras Parade. How you like
Parade.
them
Very
apples?
exciting.
Huh?
And Michael, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Give where you live.
All right. Thanks, guys. That will do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.